For a long time, we want to drain all batteries are from one package.
One of them fully jumped up.
Completely charged battery to completely discharged battery. 100% drained clearly, but in something like the RC 24.
Idea, we have seen that you can bounce batteries to tell whether
And see what you get.
30 minutes.
24 to the top of them, so they are slightly different in some way.
So this is the one that we just...
And so we actually just added some cornstarch on the inside to sort of a
car and left it running to try and drain them even more. 0.98 voltage in a battery. It drops off very quickly at first and then levels out. The full battery. Now that would be exactly the same as batteries in our flashlight. We're still getting light out of the flashlight. And so it's not 0.4, pretty much no resistance. That's the goal right there. Remote control car, and drove that around. 0% batteries versus full battery gets, and then take it out and see how much. 15 minutes, just the other one, 24.35, still very much. It's fully charged?
Fully charged, no marks on it.
24. In today's video, we're taking a look at the difference between full USA printed.
There was 0.98.
Yes, clearly not a linear scale for using those. Maybe packaging, it said that it gave like 2.5 hours of light. They all came together, and you can see that they actually say
out of the frame.
Of it are. I really am not seeing anything, so I don't think that's changed. And I think that's
It's like the One Ring. It actually still has over half
for a long time. So these two batteries were in the flashlight overnight, and then to Guys, that's not all. We've always got more for you to see. That box up at the top is going to take you to our left between a fully charged battery and a fully drained. Slight bowing or change in like how flat any part.
from a higher spot this time.
The case I did want to test because it's just like limps along at 1/4 mile an hour.
Battery isn't going to bounce, and the one that's pretty close to empty is going to have a lot more bounce to it.
First thing I want to do is
see what's different, and then try a few other tests as well.
All the way down with even necessarily quite enough. So we then took those batteries and we put them into a remote control. We've now
That's it. That's zoom zoom. Pew pew pew. Zoom zoom. Pew 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 pew.
At least one battery wide, so you can then have just sort of a rail 6 volt distort as you use it. We have a very
See if we can get a perfect.
So I figured we can put the battery in there, see how dim the flashlight. So let's do a test. All right.
Scale of a
Full battery. Okay, we are getting a reading just holding it over a counter. Other than that, we have batteries at 15-minute increments from 2 hours and 15 minutes difference between the two.
Here's the basic
Change. Nothing is escaping, nothing's leaving the battery as you're using it.
So the one at 2 hours 15 minutes, quite a bit of bounce to it. I want to know if there's a weight difference. They don't feel any different to me, but that doesn't mean that it's not there.
Just a whole setup that will, especially if the wheels are actually in contact with the ground, it can barely over next to each other, and we can get a good shot, a test of the battery. And we have drained them a lot. You have 1 point, zooms around a little bit. Full battery.
Pew pew.
Very sensitive scale. This thing will just fall down. Batteries and batteries that have been drained of all, and we've got it set to grams right now. We've got our battery rail box. Worse it is.
After that, we're going to put batteries in for progressively smaller increments of time to see.
Within that same range. Yeah, grab a one in the middle. Oh no. Box set up, and hopefully the automatic drop system all works smoothly. Let's give this a test. 2, 1, 1. So that's not 0. It's not showing that there's no power left in this battery.
But
it's in line from a
dry lubricant, and
it's going to be a little powdery, but I think it's going to work a little
different. Even
insane given the fact that at the end of running something in a car until it would no longer go anywhere.
As far as I can tell, just holding them, they feel the same. I'm just trying to see, like, is there any to 1.47, like that just. We've tried weighing the batteries and had these 3 batteries running our remote control car for a little bit. Board, and we've got some strips, and we are just gonna glue all these strips on. All right, let's get one of our fully charged batteries.
There you go. Work.
I think so. if we can get them to just bounce in a nice little array. But first, let's try. Now we've used a voltmeter, and we can definitely tell with the voltmeter what's a good fresh theory. We should be able to take a bet that our full battery will not bounce on top.
Yeah.
These two batteries came with the flashlight, and they do not have USA printed parts. That's all the way down to none.
So first thing, ring hitting the ground, please. So
It worked, it dropped. Fell a hair over. This bomb here in the middle, you'll be subscribed to the channel, and that way you're never gonna miss a cool video. Don't forget to ring the I just found the battery completely drained, and see the box is gonna show you what YouTube thinks you should be watching next. And if you hit it and dropping it the same way anyone would if they're pulling batteries out of a junk drawer, and their last video you should go check.
tried the bounce test with. This is at 2 hours, 15 minutes of use.
24.2.
So after 15 minutes, you can already see that you've got a 0.2 drop in it. That's kind of a
0.25. So we do have a little bit of variation here. Almost all of these batteries. Not bad. So empty, also empty. Here's our battery track.
That's really cool.
Battery. That bell, and we'll see you in the next one. Talk to you then.
That was cool.
It was cool. Check that out. The other ball. 3, 2, 1. Is designed for measuring gunpowder and
Of what a battery has initially.
in terms of voltage at least.
Yeah.
Now how well that translates, the weight, and I didn't think the weight was gonna. We were having just a little bit of trouble getting all of the batteries to drop at the same. 3, 2, 1. Power each of these has. First off, a 4.45. Time. I think they're sticking a little bit to the paint. Really try and drain them the rest of the way. We threw them into this only 15 minutes. 1.47, whereas with full batteries, it actually kind of is a bit better. Yeah, it should be good. All right. Power probably depends on what device you're using. If I put these two dead, something was escaping, but it seems that the mass is unchanged. Drop off.
Yeah, I would not have expected
In
that
only
much.
15 minutes, it goes from 1.6 volt. We've got some masonite. We've got a, not sure, like, oh, is this a good battery? Is this a bad battery? This is actually had one set of batteries we left in overnight to really try and drain them off. And that wasn't
A little bit like hit.
battery in a junk drawer test. All of the power out of these batteries. All right, we have now taken batteries full. Let's take, once we can actually get it to go all at the right speed.
I think it's gonna work.
First step is we need to drain power out of these. So I've got a flashlight. When I bought it on the battery did.
I want to try that bounce test. Everybody says that you can bounce the batteries and a perfectly charged battery.
Of their juices. How are they different and how can you easily tell them apart? 1.6 volts. Now our drained batteries. This is as dead as our power, especially it's into usable.
Yeah, that looked good.
Like 6-ish
A
volts.
little more.
Empty battery. Take our voltmeter and test it on the batteries to see how much 0.4. So I'm gonna say batteries, so intentional. They don't want. Well, they didn't all hit the ground at the same time.
He didn't.
Our batteries are currently in line from fully charged to very much depleted. And so the mass is the same. It's not going to be any. Whereas our empty battery will. We want to do some tests to see what's different. We've got a bunch of batteries. One, the coefficient of static friction to get this thing moving. For the most part, it's from this same batch.
That's true.
Also 2 hours and
In the RC car, this wasn't working anymore. So a dead battery.
battery and what's been used, and it drops off pretty quick. I was surprised at how fast.
So
we've got batteries in this flashlight, and now what we want to do is just let it sit. So I was pretty sure that was D-card. It needs a little bit more.
charged battery to a fully dead battery and see what the differences are. For the one that's fully charged,
We are looking at drop all of the batteries at once from fully charged to
0.9.
0.98 volts. Here's one that was in the flashlight. It's supposed to be the super easy way to test. If this works at all, I want to scale it up and have volts almost exactly, just battery. And we want to see if we can figure out how you can tell the difference. Far, these batteries are in good condition, but quite a bit. We had to run these batteries for a long time to get them below.
There's no bounce. Editors, can we put in a clip of the
1.6. So that's a quick drop after they ran the flashlight.
whether or not they are charged? So we're gonna try that.
We've already done a bounce test and we've seen we can get it. System and all of these batteries and drop it.